My name is Arthur Finch. I'm 84 years old and I have less than a week to live. 3 years ago, a tremor in my hand told me I had this long. I made a terrible mistake. I left my wife to chase a dream and I almost lost the only thing that mattered. Let me tell you what happened. It started in my garage. The doctor had already given me the news, but I didn't really get it until that moment. I was trying to fix a faucet for Eleanor. My left hand just quit. The wrench slipped and hit the floor. Bang, like a shot. I stood there under that old bulb staring at my own hand. This hand that held my kids, that signed my mortgage. It was a clock now, ticking so loud I couldn't hear anything else. I felt empty, just pure, cold despair. That's when I decided to fight. Not the sickness, the man I was. I'd been an accountant, safe, careful. I looked at Eleanor one morning and felt so ashamed. I'd promised her adventures. I dug out this old map from our honeymoon. It was yellow and crisp. I pointed to Iceland. "I'm going to see a glacier," I told her. She thought I'd lost my mind. Maybe I had. But you can't just run off. I had to clean house first. I had a ghost. My brother Leo. We hadn't spoken in 42 years. A stupid fight over our dad's store. I drove to his cabin in Michigan. My hand shook on the wheel the whole 8 hours. He opened the door. He looked just like me, but older, worn. He didn't smile. He just said, "Took you long enough." We didn't talk about the fight. We sat on his dock for 2 days, just fished. The silence was heavy, but it was a good heavy. On the second night, he nodded at my shaking hand. "So, you finally running out of time?" I said yes. He grunted. "About damn time." That was it. That was all I needed. So I did it. I sold my 1967 Mustang, my baby. This kid bought it, didn't even haggle. I booked 2 tickets to Iceland right there on my computer. I told Eleanor we were going. She refused, flat out. "It's madness, Arthur. You need a doctor, not a vacation," we yelled. It was our worst fight in 30 years. She said, "You're chasing a dream with a broken body." And I said the worst thing, the words I wish I could swallow. I said, "Then I'll go alone." The look on her face, it broke something in me. But I went anyway. On the plane, I felt like a stranger. Who was this man? I stood in front of the glacier. It was huge, blue and white. It made these sounds, groans and cracks, like the earth was talking. My hand wouldn't stop shaking. It matched the ice. I felt tiny. What was my 3 years to this million-year-old ice? Nothing. I thought, what's the point? Then a giant piece broke off. It crashed into the water. The sound was huge, terrifying, but the wave that came to shore, it was small, gentle. It hit my boots, and I started crying, right there in the cold. I wasn't sad. I understood something. Time isn't about how much you have. It's about the mark you make, even a small one. I flew home full of this feeling. I had souvenirs, a rock, some pictures. Eleanor was ice, a glacier right in our living room. I tried to tell her about the sound, the wave. She just folded a towel. "You left, Arthur. You chose a piece of ice over me." I had no answer. She was right. That night in bed, the space between us felt a mile wide. My tremor was so loud in the quiet. I saw it then. I was trying to outrun my death. And in running, I left my life behind. So I stopped trying to be big. I started trying to be there. I made her coffee, even though I spilled it. I sat with her in the garden. I wrote messy letters to my grandkids. One day she was struggling with a jar of pickles. I took it from her. My hand was shaking all over the place, but I held on tight. I thought about how much I loved her. The lid popped. She looked at the jar, then at me. The ice in her eyes melted. She put her hand over my shaking one. Her skin was warm. "It's okay," she said. Just that. It was a new start. That gave me the courage for the hardest talk. With my son David. We hadn't been close. I never understood his art life. I brought him to the empty garage. I told him about the 3 years. He got angry. "You're telling me now? After your trip?" Then I confessed. "I was jealous of you," I said. My voice shook worse than my hands. "You lived. I just balanced books." I handed him a key. "The Mustang buyer fell through. It's in storage. It's yours." It was my last treasure. Giving it to him felt like setting down a weight. After that, I started recording this. My body is failing, but my mind is clear. I record the small things: Eleanor's laugh, the afternoon sun on the floor, my grandson's steady hand in mine. I'm not making a diary of dying. I'm bearing witness to living. The messy, beautiful, trembling truth of it. Yesterday I had my last perfect day. Leo came. David and his family. Eleanor knew something was up. I gave them all envelopes. Inside was a scavenger hunt. Times and places from my life. The diner where I proposed. The old football field. They went out and found my notes, my memories. They came back with pieces of me. I stood up with my cane. I said, "You hold the map of me now. Don't go to those places to remember me. Go to remember yourselves." Last night, Eleanor helped me to bed. My hand was quiet for once. She put her head on my shoulder. "The glacier," she whispered. "Tell me about the sound again." I told her. The roar, the groan, the gentle wave. It was the sound of time, I said, not running out, just being. She understood. We lay there in the dark. We weren't a dying man and his wife. We were two pieces, floating together in a calm lagoon. I'm not scared, I'm grateful. These last 3 years after the tremor started were the most alive I've ever been. So listen, if your body is giving you a sign, a tremor, a pain, a whisper, don't ignore it. Don't just rage like I did. That whisper isn't your enemy, it's your invitation. Your chance to mend what's broken, to say what's true, to love so hard it makes you shake. Your time isn't 3 years, it's this moment, right now. Watch this, then go. Tell someone you love them, forgive someone. Start living before it's too late. But you know what? That understanding didn't stick right away. I came home from Iceland thinking I had it all figured out. I was wrong. See, I thought the big fight was over. I thought seeing that ice meant I was wise now. But life doesn't work like that. Eleanor was still so cold to me. And I got frustrated. I'd had this huge moment, this awakening, and she was just folding towels. I tried to tell her again about the glacier sound. She put the towel down and looked right at me. "Arthur," she said. Her voice was quiet. "I don't care about the sound. I care that you left. You got your sign and you ran away from me." That hit me like a punch. I didn't have an answer. I just stood there in our kitchen, my hand shaking at my side. So I did what I always did when I was stuck. I went to the garage. It was empty where my Mustang used to be. just oil stains on the concrete. I sat on my old stool and I looked at my hands. They wouldn't stop. And I finally got it, really got it. I wasn't a wise man who saw a glacier. I was a scared old man who hurt his wife. My grand adventure was just running away. I felt so stupid and so ashamed. I'd been so focused on my time, my epiphany, I forgot about hers. I forgot she was watching her husband disappear. That was the real crisis, not the dying, the leaving. I went back inside. She was watching TV. Not really watching, just staring. I sat next to her on the couch. I didn't say anything about ice or time. I just said, "I'm sorry I left." She didn't look at me. A commercial played. Then she said, "I was scared you'd die over there, alone." And I started to cry. Just quiet tears. I said, "I was scared to die in here, with everything unsaid." She finally looked at me. Her eyes were wet, too. She reached over and took my shaking hand in both of hers. She held it tight. "Then say it," she whispered. "Say it all now." So I did. Right there was some game show on in the background. I started talking. I told her I was sorry for being safe. I was sorry for the trips we never took. I was sorry for every time I chose balance over joy. It wasn't pretty. My voice cracked. I repeated myself. But I said it. And she listened. She just kept holding my hand. That was the moment everything changed. Not on a mountain, on our old plaid couch. And you know what? That couch confession broke something open. But it also showed me the mess I'd made. I'd been so busy trying to have this big, meaningful ending. I'd wrecked the middle. The real work started the next morning. It was ordinary. It hurt. I made breakfast. My hands shook so bad I couldn't pour the orange juice. It just sloshed all over the counter. Eleanor came in and saw the mess. I felt so useless. I started to apologize, but she just got a sponge. She cleaned it up, her hand on my back. "It's just juice, Arthur." But it wasn't. It was everything I couldn't do anymore. That's when the real fear set in. Not fear of dying. Fear of being a burden, a chore. I saw it in my son David's eyes when he visited that week. He'd look at my hands, then look away quick. He'd finish my sentences. He treated me like I was already gone. And the hardest part? I'd earned that. I'd pushed him away for years with my quiet disapproval. Now I needed him, and the bridge was ashes. One afternoon he was helping me fix a wobbly table leg. I was holding it, he was tightening. My hand gave a huge jerk. The table fell. It scratched the floor. David snapped. "Just let me do it, Dad. You can't hold it." He didn't mean it to be cruel, but it was. It was the truth. I sat on the floor next to the fallen table. I looked at my son. I said, "I know I can't. I'm sorry I never told you I was proud of you when I could." He stopped. He put the screwdriver down. He sat on the floor with me. He didn't say anything for a long time. Then he said, "I know." But he didn't. Not really. That was my fault too. The lowest point was 2 months ago. I fell, just getting out of bed. My legs gave out. I went down hard on the rug. I wasn't hurt, but I couldn't get up. My body wouldn't listen. Eleanor was in the shower. I lay there. I could hear the water running. I stared at the ceiling. I thought, this is it. This is how it ends. Not with a glacier's roar, but with a thud on the bedroom floor, waiting for my wife to find me. The shame was so hot it burned. I started to cry. Not quiet this time. Huge, ugly sobs. I pounded my fist on the floor. It didn't even make a sound. Eleanor found me like that. She turned off the water, wrapped in a towel, her hair wet. She didn't panic. She knelt beside me. She didn't try to lift me. She just put her hand on my chest. "I'm here," she said. "I've got you." And I said the worst thing, the true thing. I said, "I don't want you to have me. It's too heavy." She looked right into my eyes. "You carried me for 60 years, Arthur Finch. You think I can't carry you for a little while?" She helped me up. It took a long time. We got me back to bed. She lay down next to me, her hair still damp on my shoulder. We didn't talk. We just breathed. That was the breaking point. And the mend. We just breathed. That was the breaking point. And the mend. And here's what that breath taught me. I was wrong about almost everything. I thought courage was selling my car and flying to Iceland. That wasn't courage. That was a performance. Real courage was sitting on the floor with my son, admitting I was jealous. Real courage was letting Eleanor clean up the spilled juice without crumbling from shame. I thought the point was to leave a mark, like that glacier carving the land. But I'm not a glacier. I'm a man. My mark wasn't on the land, it was on the people I loved. And for most of my life, that mark was too light. A careful signature on a birthday card. A nod of quiet, conditional approval. The tremor didn't just shake my hand. It shook that careful man until he fell apart. And the real one, the scared, loving, messy one, could finally stand up. So here's my advice, plain and simple. Don't wait for a tremor. Your body is talking to you right now. That ache in your knee you ignore, that's time. The tiredness you blame on a long week, that's time. It's all whispering, don't save the good china for a guest who isn't coming. Use it today. Chip it. Let your grandkids drink milk from it. The value isn't in the perfection, it's in the use. And don't do what I did at first. Don't perform. You don't need a grand trip to prove you're alive. You need to look at your spouse. Really look, and say the one true thing you've been swallowing for years. It might be, "I'm scared." It might be, "I'm sorry." It might just be, "Your hair looks beautiful in this light." Say it. Your voice will shake. Good. Let it. That shake is you being honest. And for God's sake, mend the fences. Not with a dramatic speech, but with a quiet presence. Go sit on your brother's dock. Don't talk about the fight, just sit there. The silence will say it all. Call your kid. Don't ask about their job. Ask what made them laugh this week. Listen. Really listen. The hardest, most important work happens in the ordinary minutes. Making coffee, folding laundry, sitting in a garden holding a hand that doesn't feel steady. That's not dying, that's living. That's the whole point. You still have time. Maybe not 3 years, maybe not 10. But you have this moment. This exact one, watching an old man on a screen. And this moment is enough. It's enough to decide. It's enough to begin. My most vibrant years started the day I learned they'd end. Don't wait for that diagnosis. Give yourself the diagnosis right now. Your time is limited, so what? That's not a tragedy. It's the engine. It's the thing that makes the sun feel warmer, the coffee taste richer. Your wife's laugh sound like the only music you ever need. The clock isn't your enemy. It's your friend. It's the nudge you've been waiting for. So here is my final ask of you. If this story shook something loose in you, do something with that feeling. Don't let it fade when you click away. Hit subscribe. Turn on notifications. It sounds silly, but do it. Let this channel be a reminder in your feed, a little nudge among the noise, that your time is now. Give this video a like. Not for me, for you. Make that click a promise to yourself. Then, in the comments, I want you to write one word. Just one. The name of the person you're going to reach out to today. Their name. Leo. Eleanor. David. Just type it. Make that public promise. It matters. Then share this. Not because I want views, because someone you know needs to hear it. They're hiding from their own tremor, their own whisper. Send it to them. Say, "This made me think of you." That's how this works. We pass it on. We start a chain of people deciding to live before it's too late. And if you want to go deeper, there's a link below to a simple form. You can share your own story. What's your tremor? What did you do when you got your 3-year warning, real or imagined? Your story might be the one that saves someone else. We're all in this lagoon together. And if you want to hold this, to have it on your shelf, I've written it all down. Everything. The fight in the garage, the glacier's groan, the feel of Eleanor's hand on mine. There's a book. It's called The Tremor. The link is below. It's not a manual. It's just my story, expanded. A companion for when you need one. But you don't need the book to start. You just need to move. Right now, pause this. Go find that person. Say the thing. Forgive the old hurt. Love with a fierceness that makes your hands shake. Then come back and tell me you did it. I might not be here to read it, but my family will be. And they'll see that their old man, in his last trembling days, started something. A wave. A small, gentle wave, just like the one that touched my boots. It starts right here, with you.